Hello and welcome everyone. It's time for a bit more Godot today. Truth be told, I kind of wish I was slacking off today, but you know what? Agonia pushed me again, and she's correct. I should just do a little bit of Godot stuff. Up front, there has been some work behind the scenes, and today we'll probably mostly be cleaning some stuff up and adding a few more things. What do I mean with that? Okay, so for everyone who's following this progress, you know that I had a problem for the last 2 weeks or so. I was just stuck. I couldn't understand how to get certain things working. Well, mainly I wanted to add the ability that enemies can patrol. And, not simply, but like actually make it modular inside of the script of the melee enemy class, so I can just always slot in points, and then it just kind of works. Well, hope this works. No, well, let me just really quickly. There we go. Because now, as you can see, there is our relatively accurately centerpieced demo. And if we now go down, you can see that. Look at that! Our enemy is walking between the points. Look how much hitch. And I could just expand this. But yeah, a friend helped me who's like a lot better at programming than I am, and actually works with Godot, and this is a bit more professionally. So shout out to Dana again. If you're like, oh wow, that sounds cool that she helped Nia. Is she doing something? Yes, she's currently working on a game called Mass Attract. I also streamed it. So if you want to support her and her indie studio, it's on Steam if you like park building games. So, and if you want to, I will also drop her ad on Blue Sky and Mastodon. Thank you again. That really helped. So yeah, basically, if you want to know what the fuck we did here, turns out I was pretty close with what I wanted to do. I genuinely just needed to add a few things. So let's just go over all of this and yeah. Basically, all of these are overarching variables now. Obviously, this is the whole when the enemy spawner is, and that it can actually attack the player then, etc., etc., etc. Well, doable. Or, if you're in, if we're here, I would say probably, considering, maybe put this in an export. Just, because then I could, because I probably would need to do that in a bit anyway. Okay, anyway. just to make it clear what is happening here, I should probably separate this just so it's a bit more clear. So first off, we have an export node waypoints, which, obviously you slot in the node 2D with the marker 2D in there. Bam, done, easy. Then we have a variable that counts how many points, so children, basically how many marker points are in there. Then the point positions are basically, those in the nodes in an array. Easy. The current point is saved as a vector too, so that you know where it is. And also the current point position, which is basically at which position in the array are we at the moment. Very easy. And then also, hey, should it patrol or should it not patrol? It's just like true false thing. It's literally just on off switch. Like, I don't think I need to explain that. Yeah. Okay. So the solution to how does patrolling work now? Basically, already it checks are waypoints not null. So if there is no waypoint slotted in, then it just does the call deferred targeting, and then it does the whole let's look for the player, and yeah. Then, it looks is patrol false or not. So if it is false, there's seeking, which is, everything we had before. You know what? That's the whole pathfinding, hey, blah. And then basically the same logic of pathfinding via tiles we also use for patrolling. As you can see, we need to assign the variables a little bit different this time. So it's kind of interesting to think about the fact that I could brew myself coffee, like an average programmer would, and drink that. But I shouldn't do that. Because, I know I should, if anything, drink coffee in the morning. If anything. And not in the evening. So, ironically, regulating with a mug of cola without sugar in it is actually much more healthy for me. Anyway. So, personal position, obviously, it's just the global position. You know what? We just make this a bit nicer looking. Then, obviously, next path position, pathfinding get next path position. So, then the patrol point is the current point. So, basically, moving up here again, we have the vector 2 in the position of the array. So, it would be 0.1 or 0.2 here. Very easy. Then directions, obviously, patrol point minus global position dot normalized. I first tried to do it with global position, then I realized I don't need to because current point is already it's already a vector 2. I don't need to be like global position. It just works like that. It already is how's it called? A location data. So yay, easier. And then obviously variable velocity, so everything else is just the same. It looks, if waypoints, target position is the patrol point, which is, the current point in the array. So basically, because it already, reads them out up here already. So, yay. So it basically says current point is point position, current point position. Easy. So basically, this just says this is the next point in the array, and this is the location data for it, the vector. And then basically, it just says, yeah, that is your target position, go to there. And if the navigation is finished, it just adds 1 to the current point position, so it advances the array +1. And if it's equal or above the number of points in, equal number of the number of points, so the array, you just reset it back to 0, the beginning of the array, and then say, current point is point position, current point position. So it just it always updates that. And yeah, the rest actually just works. Surprisingly, Okay, you know what? I think we do a few things today. First of all, a little bit of cleanup. I don't think I need to do a lot. But yeah, I don't think I need that. I was definitely pretty close to some idea, so some stuff here, but yeah, that looks much better now. We have that. I don't think anything. Oh. I don't think I need that anymore. It's all in the UI. So we have that. Yeah, right. We don't have enemy 2 anyway, so enemy 3, I mean. So you can just go away. Not needed anymore. Everything much cleaner now, I would say. UI, anything here? Nope. 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 Everything pretty fine, I would say. Okay. By the way, if you're wondering if my movements are, if everything looks a bit stiff today, well, the lights are out. Or more like, the fucking light bulb died. Cool. Love it. I'm happy. Not really. Right. The stove dies. No, the stove isn't dying. The stove is just weirdly broken. And we just have to wait for an electrician to probably replace it. Cool. And then the light bulb dies. And it's just like, cool. It feels nice. Oh well. Okay. Let's just check again if everything is working. Everything works fine. Perfect. Okay. So, going back to all of this, okay. So basically, doing a few things now. Because basically what I want to do is that this enemy right here basically goes and basically that in the base script, it is that if, it's patrolling and there's an area around it, and if the player enters that area, patrolling should be turned off. So pretty stupidly easy, actually. Means I basically only need to add another area to D. Let's just and call it aggro rage. Yeah. This one gets it's a collision shaped D. Yeah. Let's just call it the aggro box. Who cares, actually? Shape empty, new circle shape 2D. Wee. Okay. That actually looks pretty okay-ish, I would say. Probably can make it closer, but still, that's fine. Okay. Basically, what we do want is basically an on area and on body entered. Yeah, right, because it's the character Let me just check this one again in the script here. Hitbox area entered. That's for the bullet. Oh, it's checking with areas. Okay. So I should probably do that with areas again. Fine. So on agro range area entered, basically we just want to have patrol his faults. Pretty simple. So now it should actually turn that just back. And just to see if this works, print aggro. The enemy is aggressive. Okay, so let me just check if that works. Because what? Oh. Yeah. Oh god, I'm so utterly stupid. If it just aggroes on itself all the time. I'm like, yeah, I should check first if it is a player. So let's do this again. And there we have exactly the thing I expected. Okay. Because now it's like, who the fuck am I targeting? And you're right. You're completely right. I mean, effectively, okay? I don't know if this is working, but I just need to export the variable. Yeah. No, you know what? I can put this one up here. It's the same. It should not break shit. Okay. Now, if I go to enemy here, and in the inspector, there is not I can assign the player character to it. So now okay, that just works. I mean, now it just spams the enemy is aggressive because I said print the enemy is aggressive, but Wait, I already basically did it. Okay, fine. Good. Now. Bu- 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 bu. Hmm. I mean, this isn't a problem. I just leave it like that because basically, yes, this can be triggered multiple times, but um, question though, can I make it so I mean, I could definitely make a new variable and be like yada yada yada. Actually, um, huh, um, I have a convoluted idea, but I don't know if I should do it like that. I mean, this is working right now, and considering what kind of game I want to make, I don't think something about losing target is relevant. Making a signal of like, a this is how's it called? I have targeted the player, attack everyone from my kind, attack him. That's doable, but yeah, basically now we have a whole. It can be retargeted, and if I'm checking this one again, I would say nothing is broken. Okay. Okay, so works. Everything just works. Making this an export variable that I can just manually assign is just kind of how to do it, I would say. Considering those would be enemies that are not spawned in but placed, and so basically, yeah, either the variable player will be filled in by the enemy spawner, or manually I mean, hmm, hmm. I mean, yeah. I don't know. This is the simplest version. Like, I mean, I would probably like to do it more that actually, I mean, just generally, I was like, wait, if I go into the aggro box and make it a rectangular shape, okay, then I can actually make it so that it stretching out long in front of. That's actually a much better way of doing it, considering those are robots. You know? That's a much better idea. Seems very quickly. Hello, enemy 3. Are you working like this still? Hello. Ah, and now it's that. Look at that. That actually is I would say that is actually much more in line with how the patrol zone of a robot should look like. Oh, you know what? I was genuinely thinking like how should I put how should I do it? But now but wait, we can do some top down laser pointer. Yes. Hmm. Okay. You know what? I just do you know what? think I'm doing it really fucking stupid. The stupidest, dumbest shit possible. Uh, okay, why? God, Google has become very shit at finding stuff. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it myself. Da, 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 da. If nothing works, just do it yourself. Obviously, this is a stupid plan. Help. Huh? Anyway, let's switch over for a second. Let's say, I'm pretty happy I made my own Godot section now. This makes it much easier to do just stuff. Sure. Why is it like that? No. I want alpha channel. There we go. Okay, you know what? First off, box. I'm just gonna make a box here, and then I will fill it with let's see what looks the most metallic. There we go. So, and onto that box, we make another box. I know, I am so utterly creative here. 1, 2, 5, 1. Behold. And there we go. And make it more of a darker tone. Just fill this one out again. There we go. And then we do want to have if you what laser do we want to have? What's a good purple one? You know what? Purple laser sounds good. Or some scientist is gonna be like, there are no purple lasers, and I will say, shut up. And now we just go and make roughly 1% pretty long-ish thing. Okay, yeah, fine. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, wow. And there's like a big, a bigger red one. Let's do a more one here, and it's just bright red. Then we fill that. Ooh. Look at my magnificent goddamn work. Absolutely banging. It's just... Have you seen this art? I'm like... and now we just go and... No! I don't want to do... want to have anything. Whoop, there we go. And then we export this as... laser. Obviously. To desktop, please. Ha 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 ha. And now we can actually go back to Godot because we have made our laser. I'm pointing my laser. Blah. Blah. And the laser comes into the project folder, and then from the project folder into is it FFX? Where would I put it? Enemy stuff. Enemies. At some point, I definitely need to bully Agonia that she makes me a better laser. And she will tell me, I can't even make normal stuff. Why do you want me to do a laser? And I will say, because I need one. But then she will tell me, well, then better you fucking learn how to do it yourself. And I was like, it did, and it looked bad. And she's like, well, that's not my problem. Also, I'm hungry.
Technically, I told you if you want something, you should discuss it with me. How and in which program I should do it, and that we can import it properly. And that you should learn about that. So then I can do the things you need.
You know what? You're completely right. But also, this doesn't sound as normal. I wanted to sound a bit unhinged.
Also, we ate recently, so I'm not hungry.
We didn't eat a lot.
For me, it is a lot.
Look at that laser.
It's supposed to be a laser?
Yep.
Huh?
Wait a second. You will see it in a second. Look, I mount it on here. And then I stretch it out. Wait. There we go. And now I have this spread to the...
No, you don't.
I take...
No.
Spread to the...
No.
Be gone. Spread to the... I put it on here. There we go. Now make it long. Long. Or it's just like this. Who cares? And then I look at the aggro box. See? And I say, aggro box, please be like this. And so now, save all scenes. And now if you go into the main one, and I play, you will see that our patrolling enemy has a clearly visible laser in front of them. And if I touch the laser, it's now aggressive.
So you need like a scan.
Yes!
Not laser. Some capacity there.
But
I'm thinking about this.
I mean, technically, I could also go and make a version without the violet beam in front, and then I can make it an animated sprite 2D and make it so that when the laser is turned, when it's targeting, it also turns the laser off.
Lots of things you still have to do.
This is just something I did. Okay, you know what? Listen, I made the Godot standard sprite fancy. That is more than enough for today. I mean, also it actually targets me now when I do stuff. Hello, like the standard. Sorry I didn't see you here. Yeah. So, basically now, what's only missing is basically thinking, what's next? Because yeah, we definitely need to look. We need to sit down for the art at some point, but also
At some point you need to talk to me about the art. Yes.
my problem is just like I just want to get all the mechanics in order before I do something like that.
No.
You can't just say no.
Actually, I can't say no as much as I like.
Yeah, okay, yes, but not in that context.
Also in that context.
No.
You should think of the mechanics first. That's true.
Yeah, so we have now basically a modular system to make our melee enemies patrolling. Woohoo. You know what? I'm going through what needs to be done next. And I do think I should make a ranged enemy class. Because I do think everything relevant for the melee class is right now here. I just need the adjustments. So probably the next step is actually just make something that, rolls up to the, basically targets the player, rolls up, and then in intervals, or, if it's in range, it's like, pew. I said I should start working on ranged enemies.
Sure. You could also make one that just runs through the level real fast.
As it basically would just be making enemy 4, probably a spider model.
Like a special elite enemy, like a butcher, basically.
The butcher was a boss, but
Yeah, but it's technically also a special elite enemy. Just not in one room, just a thing that can spawn, and then it runs around, and if it sees you, then it makes no.
I mean, that would still be a melee enemy, just tuned.
True. With more waypoints.
Funny. It
Easy
would
to
be
do
funny for a level, and it would be very funny for a level, and I should definitely do that. The thing is just, basically, I do need to do the ranged enemies. Everything else is probably already there in building blocks, and then I can start making levels. Oh no, wait. Ranged enemies, and probably with that line of sight. Because the as stupid as it probably sounds, and it's like, yeah, you're overdoing it again. fog of war. If you go into a level, you're not supposed to see everything.
And just make it dark and then give yourself a flashlight.
Oh, that means getting into light systems.
Yeah.
I definitely need to ask Dana again then if I want to get into that, but this would be shit.
So much more. You could make like above all those texture layers vents, and enemies can go through the vents. But if they're in the vents,
Do you want to kill me?
yes, if they're in
No, just so why do you say it so nonchalant? Oh yes, I want to overwork my girlfriend. You know what? You just put one idea into my head that I was like, fuck. I probably need to look into that because it just genuinely adds so much.
Just imagine you're like in a medium-sized corridor, like 3 players wide, roughly.
Yeah.
And on one side you see like on top of your player model, like pipes and stuff, and enemies could go over there. So it like there are certain points in a level which an enemy can interact with, and then they're basically not directly able to attack you, but can only move in this layer. But in those layers are also points where they can get down again.
You know?
It would be cool.
Yes. Let me make a game first.
Yes.
The idea of flashlights is already pretty good, actually. Especially since you
could
could
also make some light sources at that point.
Oh yeah, that's the idea.
You can make them like a bit flickery and dim, and also
the lasers would be light sources.
Yes, but also if you accidentally shoot them or enemies shoot them, they make pling and then they're gone.
That's hard, but
no, they just need a hitbox.
I think most would just shine down from the ceiling or from the side.
Yeah, from the side is hittable.
I like this idea, but at that point I really need to get into lighting. Okay, but also consider. Okay, basically this is already a hitbox. So like,
is it?
Yeah, it is. This is why. By the way, basically, if you want to see on the tile map, in the tile sets, I have multiple terrains, dungeon stuff. Okay. So this is like I can just paint them and there are walls, but the key thing here is that the walls, like basically that wait a second, these tiles have pathfinding ability on them, and these are hitboxes because as you can see, if I load up the game, there, and I fire a bullet, it doesn't go over it; it despawns. So considering that is already the case, I don't think it would be too much to consider that if you have a certain, but like I don't know what kind of light systems are in Godot. Again,
assuming it's at least a node.
It there is probably a node to D for that. Yeah,
you want to do some light sources that are on the walls. You could technically just give the thing a hitbox, put the hitbox slightly like before the bullet despawns, and if it gets hit too many times, it breaks.
Yeah. Also, then I technically only if it's just light sources, I could technically then only add like different tracer effects to bullets and stuff. So when they're going through the light, they would light stuff up.
Or you make the lights just a filter over a certain area. It would be cheap.
What? You know what? We're currently going for full darkness anyway, so who cares? Let's go with horror. Actually, yes. You know what? Fuck it. This is Alien Breed, but full horror. You know what? Yes, I'm going into light systems before I do light systems and ranged enemies. Those are the next ones. I don't know which I will target first. Probably light systems, because I kind of want to do that now, just to be clear here, because it's very fun, because then I can actually, because we have robots, we can actually do a lot of, how's it called? We could do a lot of, art. Like, your art doesn't even need to be that good, but I can actually put just light nodes onto the sprites. Mm-hmm. And then, you wouldn't like directly see them, but you would mostly see red dots coming towards you. And if you then fired it, then you would. Shit, light system. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to bother Dana again at some point.
It's way easier, probably, than trying to semi-randomly generate levels.
I do not want to do that.
I know that you don't want to do that, so...
this is just a personal thing of I want to have handcrafted levels, period.
Yeah, I would agree. It fits way better this type of game that you want to do right now.
Yeah. Hey, if this ends up being something that I'm so proud of that I maybe be able to put it on Steam for like €1, I'm already happy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thanks everyone again for being here. We did a bit of cleanup. We added a laser to the Godot. Yeah. This looks pretty shit, but but what can you do? What can you do?
Patrolling works.
Patrolling works. It literally was. I'm kind of baffled because I knew the aspect, but it literally only needed. We're in Emily and class. It only needed to make the player variable an export, so I can basically manually tell this one, "Hey, player is the character." So that you just need to do that manually then every time in the level. But who cares? You only place a certain amount of enemies there anyway. Mm-hmm. Then basically I only need to say, hey, if it's in the acro range area, check if it's a player, turn off patrol, and it just works. Also, it prints the enemies aggressive, but we can change that later. It
can make like beep boop bop bop bop.
But you know what? This is play sound dong. Fuck. Do you know a good honk sound?
No, but I'm certain I can find one.
Do you want to help me find one?
Maybe later.
Okay, then not today anymore.
So, if I understand it correctly, your patrol to aggressive script.
Yeah. It's literally just...
only works with pre-spawned enemies.
Yes, you know why? Basically, if you look at the script of the melee enemy class, it checks up here. Is there a waypoint? And if there is a waypoint, then patrol is true, and it does all the things for waypoints.
Yeah.
And then
so technically you're very restricted in how you use them. So you can't make a spawner that spawns patrolling enemies, for example.
No, that would probably be very complex. But also, I want to limit what is spawned in spawners. Like, for example, your balls.
Yeah, sure. I'm just like thinking, for example, if there's like a big guardian fabricator, let's call it that, and it has a very high cooldown, like once a minute or higher, and then it spawns the guardian robot. If the alarm is triggered, which is either always triggered or only under certain conditions, but who knows? And then it starts spawning them. So that you have a time pressure.
You could do that. You could modify a spawner to actually.
Yes, but they would then need to auto patrol, and that wouldn't work with your current system. If you would do that,
I mean, you know what? I could, depending on how big the levels are, I could just basically make it. I just can say randomized movement. There should be an algorithm. Basically, at that point, it just needs an algorithm.
you could look into micromouses. They have algorithms to find certain.
Yes, I know. Again, another point where I technically can hit someone up, but yeah.
Even I could look that up.
Are you interested in that? But we have some other things to do first. Lighting, and ranged enemies. And then we can start assembling stuff with art and shit. And you know what? I really... and also multiple weapon models. That's going to be a bit more tricky, I would say.
Well, we need to talk about what you actually want to have, and then I can try learning to do that.
I mean, I technically do want to have...
I told you that like 3 months ago or something.
Yeah. Fair point. I mean, I technically, if it comes to weapons, I do think it's just okay to have one that is a shotgun, one that is a rapid fire one, and one that is a pistol. But yeah.
Doesn't matter. Because if I want to make the models, I also need to do the character.
Ah.
You know, I can't just make the models for something that doesn't exist yet.
You know what? You know what I just realized is missing? My fucking chat. I actually specifically made this part so I can just switch to Godot easily without you know, problems. And then I just fucking forget. How big is it here? Let me just check really quickly. The chat box 1563. Fine enough. And then I do need to get my Twitch chat in. And there we go. Yeah, this one was missing. Hi. Oops.
Yay. Chat is back.
Chat is back, but also I know someone wrote stuff. Sorry, Electus. And there was a bot. Not a lot of stuff talk day. What a chaotic one. Anyway, hope you had fun with this. We have some time left. I guess we should do another round of pew pew. As usual, just a bit of talking and stuff. But yeah, I see you. Well, yeah, and we're just switching over then in a bit. Interestingly though, might actually not. There's probably not the regular pew pew tomorrow, pew pew stream, because Age of Wonders 4 Thrones of Blood is out, and yeah, Gonya and I were gonna play that and probably stream that because we kind of wanted to show more Age of Wonders 4 for a while now, and I think that's gonna be a good timing. So yeah. So yeah, see you in a bit. Just reload the channel. We will be right back.